All right, Matt, a fantastic product. Last year you did a little under $1 million. You're going to pass $2 million this year. Going forward, what for you has been the biggest obstacle getting past that first $1 million?
Biggest obstacle, we're young, we're in a market that's very mature, controlled by companies that are billion-dollar companies, and we have a beer budget, so we have to get attention without the big budget. So last year we went to CES, we walked the floors, we ended up being on NBC Today Show, 1 of 4 products from CES, which we thought was pretty cool. This year we have a very unique program to go down into the aisles of people into CES, so we find them and they see our product.
Amelia Antonetti, you built Soapworks from your kitchen to a $60 million company. At one point, it was $1 million company. What were the biggest obstacles you faced going forward?
Absolutely. You know, being the small fish in a big pond and everybody knowing it. And as much as we were innovative, it was like, how do we bring them to us so we can't have to keep going out to them? And I think if you spin it, which is one of the things that we did, means putting on seminars, teaching the technology. I mean, your biggest people of using it is your Toastmasters and your national speaker. The minute a speaker gets in front of 5, 10, 30,000 people and is using a new widget, everybody's like, what is that thing? Toastmasters gets in front of over 1 million people per year. So if you now go out to them and say, look at the great thing that I've got, they will now come to you. And same thing too with like your web malls. A lot of them, they're trying to figure out how do I bundle things so that I have the greatest package. If you educate just the distributors, they're doing the legwork for you.
Amelia, how important is it to look bigger than you are, and how do you do that?
You know, it could be a blessing or a curse. I mean, if like you have a very educated, smart backyard, so you can't go in and go, I am, you know, because they're going, no, you're not, no, you're not. But so I think you need to say, look, I'm not as a multi-billion-dollar company, but I'm on the rise, and I can move faster, I can be more innovative, and I can service you and bring to you faster than those big boys can. So use what they perceive as your weakness as your strong part. That's your big challenge card. And the same token, I mean, that is the people who watch. The people who shake up the industry is always that small guy who came out of nowhere and is like, poof.
Amelia, take outside, let's go outside of CES for a second, just in general. And what do you think is the #1 obstacle people face scaling, going from $1 million to 5 to 10?
They lose their focus. They try to be everything to everybody. They expand their product line. They go, we stand for value, we stand for bundling, we stand for this. What do you stand for? What do you want to be known for this year, next year, 5 years, 10 years? Stay focused for what people are going to come to you for. Don't lose your focus.
Mike, you talk about focus a lot. Is focus the big bugaboo as far as growing?
Yeah, there's no question. You gotta stay focused to that vision. What is your destination? If you're going from one spot to the other and you keep changing where you're going, you're never gonna arrive.
How important is, or how much of a problem has cash flow been for you? Obviously, starting out, cash is tough. You mentioned it. How do you manage that as you're scaling from 1 to 5 million?
It's very difficult. So you have to live inside of your means, #1. #2, it prevents you from making mistakes because you have to think about everything a couple of times before you actually act on it. And it makes you smarter. We have brought 5 products to market, and we have most of the multi-billion-dollar PC manufacturers selling our products.
Wendy in Dallas, take a little time off from the Cowboys. What's your question?
Hi, Donnie. My company is poshimaging.net. I'm the creator of the Posh Pack. It's a carrying case for the Bluetooth earpiece device. I'm having trouble arranging meetings with cell phone company accessory buyers. How do I get my foot in the door?
Amelia, I know you were great at that, busting doors down. What's the doorbuster tactic?
It's guerrilla marketing. It's absolutely being persistent and coming from outside of the box. If you can get a couple of really key names that people respect, which is your, you know, Fred Siegels or your Barneys, even though they're not massive and huge, that carries a lot of weight. And if you can use your boutique, smaller, local numbers and say, look, on a regional scale, this is what it would look like. On a national scale, here's what it looked like. And bring in reinforcements. Use the guerrilla street level marketing to get other people to start talking about your product. Bring in the PR as your buzz. Tell the story.
PR is great. Scotty, nobody was beating the door to you initially. How are you busting the doors down?
Well, PR, exactly. I would give all the major reporters, Walter Mossberg, David Pogue, any of the major reporters, free products and tell them about it. I spent most of my time in the initial 2 years of my business working with PR. And, you know, I viewed them as customers. And as a result, I got a lot of coverage.
Dr. Doug, now is your chance
right?
to come clean and say, you know, I made a mistake. Maybe it's PR in front of advertising.
Okay, I really thought about it a lot. And I'm going through my head, you know what? What was I saying and what did I want to convey? What I want to convey is I think that the audience of what we're putting on here, they don't have the big budgets yet, okay? They're going to be where you were, standing outside the bathroom door for 4 hours, waiting for that guy to go to the bathroom and then saying, look, I'm going to talk to you either way and get your attention. What I want to say about PR is that if you don't have the big budget to it, and let's say you got $50,000 to spend, I'm not so sure spending $36,000 of that $50,000 on PR is the best move. What might be the best move is to do the legwork tactics, walk through the shows, knock on doors, talk to people, say, you got to meet me, and here's why. I'm interesting, my story's great, and let's chat.
Speaking of legwork, this is, I think, the second time this has come up in the series. You had some Playboy bunnies doing legwork. Is that true?
Yes.
Do tell.
Well, to be more accurate, they were women. They weren't Playboy bunnies. They were women in the models that are walking the show.
Scott shift it back to Scott. How do we effectively use Playboy bunnies?
You hire one and you dress them in a Scotty vest and you walk around. It was hilarious at CES. You know, they give the demonstrations occasionally with mics, and my Playboy bunny walked by and she did one of these.
All right, don't try that at home. Move on. I don't like where this is going. We got a question from
She just shook.
She just shook. We have a question from Deanna in Maryland.
Hi, Donnie. I'm the owner of Deanna T. I invented Soother's massage gloves, and they give an awesome massage. Can you ever prepare for a financial crisis?
Well, Amelia, there's always the unforeseen, and then there's the unforeseen past the unforeseen. Can you ever prepare for potential deafening financial blow?
Absolutely. I think you can. One is never have one vendor. Don't let one person be your only resource. Backup vendors. Backup capital. Don't expect that your angel investor or the family that rallied the troops the first time around are going to be there the second time around. Always be raising money. Always make sure that you've got multiple streams. Same thing to the employee. You think you go, oh my God, I'm going to lose it. If I lose them, my whole company's going to fall apart. Backup a team, backup financing, and backup vendors.
You talk about not letting one vendor become too important. On the flip side of that, how about you've got one customer that's driving your business? They're fueling your growth. You don't want to stop it, but all of a sudden you wake up, they're 60% of your business. That's a potential real powder keg.
Absolutely huge. You can't have all your eggs in one basket ever. And you need to continue to diversify to make sure you stay balanced. And trust me, that major customer, they don't want to be 60 and 80% of your business. It's a danger for them too, because especially if you're a growing company, what happens if you tank? Now they've got a big problem with their merchandising and their shelves.
And Dr. Doug, you can't even manage effectively if one customer is the core of your business. You can't be honest with them. They're your lifeblood, so you're holding on too tight.
The priorities change. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, I don't want to make them mad or upset, and then you lose your focus from your vision and expressing yourself. The key is to express yourself and your products. Your story is phenomenal, and I hope people get a chance to read it. It's true, it's pure, it's real, and it carries forward in your product, and that's remarkable.
Amelia, you talk about as a business starts to scale, gets past that first million, gets past 5 million, there's no room for heroes anymore. What do you mean by that?
Absolutely not. In the beginning, I mean, it's almost like when you first have a child. Everybody's like, oh, they're so excited that you had a baby. But you call them when they're 3, 4, 5, nobody wants to babysit, okay? Only excited the first couple of months. And same thing too when you birth an idea. The first time that you birth an idea and you start the company, everybody's excited for you. But then the real work starts to happen. So what's going to really keep you alive from 0 to 1 million, the next level of growth where you have to bring in real talent and real systems, there can't be somebody going, look, she's out there taking all the glory and I'm back here doing all the work. It's got to be an even playing field. Everybody's going to feel like they got the same opportunity, that if they work hard, they're going to be rewarded. Whatever it seems to be your stick inside your company. But the hero, the next phase, will kill you.
But how about the point that sometimes there are more positions within companies that are a little more glamorous? The salesperson who's out there selling versus the person who's maybe crunching numbers. How do you juggle that?
I always say, you may see me, I am nothing without my team of people.
Love that.
Absolutely nothing.
One of the greatest things that's come out of this, always give the credit away. The more you share, the more people will kill for you. Okay, Pierre from Los Angeles, what's your question, sir?
Hey, Donnie, I'm a music producer, and I invented a product with the help of Jonathan DeRoche, my co-inventor, a mouse pad that secures your knee to stop repetitive strain injuries and carpal tunnel. My question is, how do you maintain quality control when expanding?
Okay, obviously, a great question for you. You're playing in the mousepad universe. How do you maintain that quality control?
It's actually been quite easy for us because we outsource everything. So if someone else does it in the world, we go to all the experts. So our supply chain is a bunch of experts. Our partners are experts. So we're the little guys. We control two things. We control the industrial design, we control the patents, and then we leverage execution through the global partners. That way, we're getting best in class in every segment.
Okay, let's move right to the bottom line. Bottom line for the tools you'll need to grow beyond your first million. Number one, get in front of people. Teach them about the product. Once again, hit the pavement. Number two, use your perceived weakness, sometimes your smallness, as your trump card. It makes you more nimble. You can do things other people can't do. Number three, have multiple vendors and multiple sources of capital and multiple customers. Don't let any one person be too big a part of your pie. And finally, share the credit with your team. Always give the credit away. We'll be right back.